Hey, I'm Mick Sullivan, curator of guest experience at the Frazier, and for our last video installment, which is a sneak peek at our tours, we're going to turn our attention to the 4th of July, which is right around the corner. I hope you'll join us at the Frazier for a tour soon. We've been thrilled with how many people we've met so far. Now, I want to point out this rifle. We're told that when Mr. Frazier bought this rifle, which once belonged to George Washington, he slept with it beneath his bed. Records indicate that the Pennsylvania-made gun was given to Washington in 1791 during his first term as president. Before it wound up in Mr. Frazier's collection, and ultimately here on our wall, the rifle was on display at Independence Hall in Philadelphia for nearly 50 years. If the name Josiah Bartlett sounds familiar, you're either pretty well acquainted with New Hampshire history or a fan of The West Wing. That television series named their fictional president in honor of a largely forgotten founding father. Josiah Bartlett was a physician, military leader, politician, and signer of the Declaration of Independence. And this was his sword. A sword like this was an essential part of fashion for a man of his status at the time. And really, look at it. It'd still be a fashionable thing to wear today. The blade is likely of British origin, and he probably acquired it before his feelings towards the monarchy brought him to being the first person to vote for independence and the second person to sign the Declaration of Independence itself, just after John Hancock. Richard Clough Anderson was one of those people who was everywhere. He crossed the Delaware with Washington on Christmas of 1776 and even recuperated with his friend James Monroe when both were injured in a battle in the next few days. He also became friends with Casimir Pulaski, who gave him a sword as he lay dying from wounds at the Battle of Savannah in Georgia. But it was as his role as aide-de-camp to Marquis de Lafayette that he is often remembered most. Anderson played a strong role in the siege of Yorktown that ultimately led to the British leaving the American continent after many years of conflict. And after the war, Anderson settled here in Louisville. It's hard to think of July 4th and not think of the American flag. Did you know that the first major change to the flag came when Kentucky and Vermont became the 14th and 15th states in 1792? The number of stars, as you would expect at that time, went from 13, for the original 13 colonies, to 15. But actually, the 13 stripes we know also expanded from 13 to 15. Luckily, it was soon decided to go back and just stay with the original 13 stripes, and only increase the number of stars. Otherwise, our flag would look pretty silly with 50 stripes, be like seersucker or something. One other thing to note is that since 1818, any new states who joined the Union saw their stars added to the flag the following July 4th. That is the official day to transition to a new flag if needed. Thanks again, and have a safe and happy 4th. We hope to see you soon for a tour here at the Frazier.